Welcome to the second installment of Overworked Linux Admin. I'm your host Zach, and today we're going to start into some fundamental command line foo. I expect this to be a multi-part chapter just because the breadth of which I want to cover in this. So first off, we're going to start with shells. So working in the command line isn't a prerequisite, especially when you have GNOME or KDE, which are desktop utilities. The UI. It sure helps though. In lieu of that, we have the user interface, and those are pretty nifty in general. You can do a lot more in there. The shell interprets commands and allows interaction with Linux. Of course, if I can remember my password. So, this will be interpreted by the shell and execute the command ls, and it will list all the files in that directory. The default shell is bash, otherwise known as born again shell. Other shells do exist, such as dash, tcsh, zsh, KSH, CSH. They're all different versions of a shell, and how they interpret commands varies between them. All the shells can be configured in the bin directory. So if you go and you grep for, let's see, sh, you're going to see here you have bash, CSH, dash, tcsh. So those are all the shells that we have in this one. You can change the default shell by going to /etc/password, and I have a test user set up here. You go to test user. Oh, look, we set it, instead of to bash like is the default, we set it to tsh. So go quit out of that, and then we log out, and then we log in as test user, and we try to remember the password. Yeah, there we go. So it's more or less fairly similar to bash. You don't see a lot of difference here. So, and that's there. It interprets the commands, exit, and then you go. Let's go back into root. So, we can move on to terminal consoles. There are 6 default terminal consoles, and those are found in /etc/init, and we grep for start. You see that there, so you etc init, if I can type properly, start, and you can see here this is how it interprets the different run level and for the different terminal console. So go in here, and there are 6 different run levels. There's run level 1. I'm sorry. There's run level 0, which is halt, which I could do, but that would turn off everything. There's run level 1, which is single user mode. It'll log you in as root. This is super helpful if you want to do a password or a file system recovery, because it doesn't mount all the partitions needed. Run level 2 is a multi-user mode. It doesn't come with any networking. It's pretty straightforward from there. Run level 3 is the run level that we are currently in. It's multi-user mode, and it comes with networking. Run level 4 is undefined, but we can probably customize it to make our own run level, which is useful if you want some daemons to load and not others. Run level 5 is multi-user mode. It comes with a network state and a GUI, so like X Windows system. And then there's run level 6, which is reboot. You can go and switch between consoles with the Alt function key, and you just would have to hit F1, F2, all the way up to F6. In the GUI, you have to use Control Alt function key, F1 through F6. For that to be initialized. So onto the run levels. So there is run level 1, and to know what run level you're in, first of all, you just type in run level, and you see that is going to be the run level you previously were in, and this is the run level that you currently are in. So to go to the easiest way to switch between the different run levels is to just initialize one, let's say, and it'll stop all the services and do its thing. Oh, and look at that. We are in run level 1, single user mode, and you want to go init 2, and it will start those systems up. And look, we're at a login. Oop. Okay, we are at a login here, and we check our run level. Now we're in 2. Init 3, of course, going back into this, starts all those services, cert monger, and run level. So we can see here we went from run level 2 to run level 3. So run level 4 actually does something here. It just stops a bunch of services, it starts them, and we are in run level 4. And you can see we went from 3 to 4. So the next one is init 5. Now you can either do init 5 or you can do start X. Either work. So we can just do init 5, keep with that, and that's going to start a bunch of stuff. And what do you know? We have a GUI. And we log in, if we can remember the password. And we remember the password. So the GUI is super helpful if you want to be able to run multiple terminals at once and compare compare the output. Like, let's say you want to look at all the messages that are coming in. Oh, it probably would help. Oh, I can't do that. Well, anyways, I did not set up for that. So you take a look here and compare it to what you see here and see if there's any changes. And so that's about it for this installation. I will see you next time when we get into standard command line tools. You have a good night.